We're going to let Roman Loggins-Burl do the honors, battling through injury. The heart of a warrior. Golden State, the NBA champions in 2029. Defeating the Pistons 138-126 here in Game 5 as the Warriors complete an unlikely but all-time postseason run. The Golden State Warriors have made it to the top of the mountain. We have won the NBA championship, and by the end of the episode, we're going to be on this exact same screen 1 year into the future with a new NBA champion, hopefully us, as we get through the entirety of Season 6 today, leading up to the long-term sim series finale, which will be in the next episode. I appreciate everyone's patience over the last couple of weeks waiting for the next episode of the series here to come out. My original plan was to have everything done by the time Madden came out, and then once I realized that was not going to happen, I figured we'll slow things down, and then we will eventually get to the final episodes of the series. Kajai Stokes, 40-10-6 in the clinching Game 5 in Round 2, winning the Finals MVP. Saylis had 30. Pretty much everybody else did what they could. Rolog struggled down this stretch in the finals, largely because of his injury. While for Detroit, Hero had 36, Cade had 22. Babaco, I'm happy I do not have to play him again. That dude was an absolute demon. But this team has found a way to win it all, and I feel like we've been very intentional in terms of building this roster, acquiring guys with positional flexibility, particularly on the defensive end of the floor, guys who can create for themselves on offense, guys who can create for their teammates on offense, guys who play defense, guys who want to play defense. And for a team who only won 48 games this year, grabbing the 5th seed in the weaker conference with no All-Stars, to go 16-4 in the playoffs seems unprecedented. But I saw it coming with this group, and yes, it took luck in terms of not having any debilitating injuries in the playoffs, which has not been the case for us over the last few years, but also being smart with injury management throughout the regular season and throughout the playoffs and making sure our guys would be healthy and would have the energy here in June to outlast a team like Detroit, who was obviously pretty banged up. Cade Cunningham played 3 games in this playoff run, and he was healthy for maybe 5 minutes of those. So now we're going to make it into the offseason. We're going to try to get through the offseason pretty quickly with the goal of running it back with this group. The oldest member of the core is Herb Jones, who's 30. Now it's going to be a challenge because none of our core guys are under contract after next year. Mobley is 2 years, Stokes is 2, Saylis is a free agent, Kuminga's on the player option, Destino's a free agent, Jones has 2, Rolog has 2, Springer has 2, Bona's on the player option. Ramon Hodge is the only player on the team who's under contract after next year. So of the 9 guys in the rotation, half of them expire today and half of them expire after next season. We also have a new draft class of players. We don't have any picks this year, so we're probably not going to add any of these rookies. This draft class was not made by me. I had somebody else make it, and the plan is he will make my draft classes for 2K26. They're going to be different. They're hopefully going to be even more unique than the ones I made, and it's going to be even more challenging, particularly at the top, because I feel like it's a little bit too easy when you have a high pick and there's too much of a high hit rate picking in the top 5. If you want to download the current scenario of this offseason, this is how you do it. You type in my PSN, and you can download any of these scenarios from each of the first 5 seasons of the series. Click into year 5, and we're right back at the screen where we started with the Warriors on top of the NBA champions list with Kajai Stokes as the finals MVP. So with that, we will make it into the offseason with the goal of bringing everyone back. Saylis, Destino, both expiring. I want them both on the team next year. Kuminga and Bona on player options. I'm hoping they ultimately accept. Not a very long list of retirements. Rudy Gobert may very well be a Hall of Famer. Fred VanVleet's made the All-Star team. Other than that, not that crazy of a list. A lot of the older players are still around, like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. Those guys both contributed on contending teams who lost to us in the playoffs. Kyrie Irving is still quite good, even at like 36 years old. In the league meetings tab, one of the proposed rules was eliminate goaltending, which I kind of thought about. I feel like that's an interesting idea, but ultimately I said no. We don't have any lottery picks, but I'm really curious to see where the pick that we had lands. It's projected 6th. It says the Clippers have it, but it actually belongs to Denver. We got that pick back in year 1 from Philadelphia. We held on to that pick for as long as we could, and we used it to OKC for ranking Destino, and then they traded it to Denver for Jokic, and as you can see, it lands at number 7. So we did not end up trading a super top-of-the-line pick in the ranking Destino trade. Now, even if that was the number 1 pick, it still would have been a good move for us because Destino obviously helped us win a title. The Huskies really got screwed. Worst record in the league to number 5. While the number 1 pick goes to a team with 3 lottery selections, the Los Angeles Clippers. And this pick had the least odds of their 3 choices, just 2.3%. I think it was originally like number 12 or something, but it climbs all the way up to number 1. The Clippers have an interesting group. I feel like they've drafted really well over the last few years. Dallas Carter, the second-year guard from Kansas, he's off to a good start in his career, and it looks like he's going to have a running mate. Let's take a look at the very top picks of the draft. Again, we don't have any picks this year, and I have no reason to change that. So the Clippers with the number 1 pick select Jyreese Jackson Jr. He's played professionally in Australia. He'll pair up with Dallas Carter in the backcourt. And we'll see if those guys can put the Clippers on the map as a contender. Cameron Rivas, 6'7" point guard from Spain, goes number 2 to the Hornets. They have a lot of young guards on that team. Tank Kumalo to the Bucks at number 3. Milwaukee with an interesting young group after trading Giannis. Vlado Šarić from Croatia goes number 4 to the Seattle Sonics. And then the Huskies want to trade this pick for DeJounte Murray. I'm going to do them a solid and not let them. They instead pick Orlando Richardson from South Dakota State, a jackrabbit into the top 5. Roddy Ramirez, 80 overall, number 7 to the Denver Nuggets. That was our pick, so Denver ends up landing arguably the best player in the class with the pick that we traded OKC, and OKC then traded to the Nuggets. Jonathan Kuminga and Adem Bona will both decline their player options. I honestly expected them to accept, so I'm a little bit surprised. We're going to accept the other team options here. Most of the notable player options were accepted. Jason Tatum said yes. Donovan Mitchell surprisingly said yes for only $48 million. Jaren Jackson and Kuminga, the 2 big no's. We're going to get the qualifying to Destino and Salis, obviously, along with Nikeng and Bongo. I want to bring both of these guys back, but we also have to be smart. If some team offers them a 4-year max, I don't know if we can match it because we have to pay Stokes and Rolog next year. Those 2 guys are the most important 2 players on the roster. So as much as I want to bring back Destino and Salis and Kuminga, we have to be smart with the contracts that we give them. We cannot overpay because our 2 biggest fish expire next year. We'll start with Kuminga since he's unrestricted. Let's get this done now. We're going to do a shorter-term deal for him, but we're going to give him a lot of flexibility with a player option and a no-trade clause, which he ultimately says yes to. So now I think our next focus is kind of waiting it out for these 2. Nikeng Bongo gets an offer from the Pacers for pretty much nothing. I'm going to match it. I didn't think he'd be the first restricted player to accept a contract, but here we are. I'm going to offer Adem Bona. It seems like he's willing to make less money. That might be why he declined. He's doing us a solid. We bring him back for 1 year, $12 million. At the end of free agency, neither Salis nor Destino have really gotten any serious offers, so it looks like we are going to be able to bring them back. As for the rest of the league, not a ton of movement. Joel Embiid re-signs with the Nets. Chet Holmgren gets 5 years from Atlanta. Dennis Gordon, the biggest mover, he goes to the Cavs. What is Sacramento thinking? He averaged 25 and 10 on good defense last year. Why would they let him go? The Cavs lose Jeffrey Thomas, who goes to New Orleans, who's also a good player. This is a nice get for New Orleans, but it's worth it to get Dennis Gordon, who I think is better. The Blazers are going to run it back with Bardo and LaMelo Ball. Tyrese Maxey goes back to the Bulls. Jaren Jackson to the Suns. Darius Garland to the Mavs. I really like Laszlo Zonka on the Huskies. I think he can be a guy who really changes their fortunes. We get the 2 guys to accept back on the qualifying offer, which means we're officially set to run it back next year with Rolog as an 89 overall. Stokes goes up by 2. He's an 87. So Rolog is now the highest and thus best player on the team, A+ three-point shot. Destino does not change. Herb Jones goes up by 2. That's an odd one. Not complaining, though. Kuminga stays. Salis up 1. Jabari up by 3. His inside scoring went down, though, which makes sense. He really did struggle as a finisher this year, but got some good boosts otherwise. I'm curious to see how much Springer is going to want as a free agent next year, and if he's a guy who we can hopefully look to bring back. We're officially using the auto-gen classes moving forward for the rest of this series, but, of course, our custom classes with custom players will be back for 2K26, which, by the way, I'm revealing the finalists for the 2K26 series today with a YouTube short and in the Discord server, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Anyway, this is what the lineup is going to look like. Same group as last year, same starting lineup that we ended with, same bench that we ended with. I expect Ramon Hodge and Romero Burkin to play quite a bit, though, because there are going to be guys who inevitably get injured. So I think even though a 9-man rotation right now, there's really going to be 11 guys who play a lot. First game of the year is against the Blazers. I'm going to hop in quickly to see if there's like a ring ceremony. I know there kind of was in the past. I remember in 2K22, in the Sonic series, in year 2, our opening game was against the Clippers, who had won the finals in the first year, and there was like a ring ceremony for it. I guess there's not, which is unfortunate. I know they said for 2K26 they're going to do some cool stuff with like banners and whatnot, but it doesn't look like we're getting any ceremony here. I do like that the Blazers are the opening game, though. That's a fun matchup. Obviously, we played against them in the Western Conference Finals. So I think we're going to start by simulating up to probably Christmas time. We're going to spend a lot more time in the playoffs today than the regular season, assuming we make the playoffs. We're going to get offered some trades. Rolog for Kobe Starling Jr. Remember, when we traded up for picks 18 and 19 in year 2, we were deciding between Rolog, Stokes, and Starling. Starling was the guy we said no to. The Raptors want Rolog, not interested. The Cavs want Stokes. That's a horrible offer. No chance in hell. This actually isn't that bad of a deal. Evan Mobley for Tyler Hero and Trace Jackson Davis. I think this would make our team better, but there's not really a point because we already have French Tyler Hero in Salis. His numbers are down, which makes sense. He's got less usage in Detroit with a healthy Cade Cunningham. We're 26-5, and we have not lost since the middle of November. We're not the number 1 seed, though. Minnesota's just as good, 27-6. But we've won 15 games in a row. So clearly the chemistry and the continuity from last year has obviously paid off. Remember, we only won 48 games last year. We were not that good of the regular season team. We were built to win in the playoffs. But with this group having played together already and coming off a dominant playoff run, it has fully carried over to the start of the year. Some interesting teams towards the top include the Mavericks in 5th. I kind of see Velourde and Boston as their top 2 guys. They're both coming off the bench. The Pelicans, the 6th seed with Jeffrey Thomas and a big leap from Jabbar Fofana. They've got an interesting roster. I don't think they have enough size, though, to really match up, at least now. The Spurs are in 9th. They have won 6 in a row. But even with Luka Doncic back healthy, they haven't been great. The roster outside of Wemby and Luka really is one of the worst in the NBA and could hold that duo back from winning more than one championship that the two have together. The Thunder are struggling with Shea and Jokic. Jokic is currently injured, but he's not really missing much time. His replacement is a dude named Gert. They also have Osborne Outridge starting. I don't know why the stats for his other seasons are glitched, but he's having what looks like a pretty good year. Despite that, though, the Thunder just are not winning games. I feel like at this point they might have to trade Shea. I feel like that ship has kind of sailed. The East has completely reverted back to being bad after it was great last year. Detroit looks really good again. Boston looks really good again. The Bulls added LV Mihaljevic. That's a big get from the Wizards. But then Brooklyn has taken a step back. Washington without Mihaljevic. The Pacers are not even in the play-in. Montreal actually has their spot. Good for the Huskies. In terms of team stats, Stokes is still the leading scorer, although Rolog is not far behind. Salis is playing well. Jabari's putting up some numbers, 20, 10, and 5. His efficiency is still not great, though. He has started a lot of games. Jonathan Kuminga's missed most of the year so far. Gotta get that field goal percentage up. Although his true shooting is 3 percentage points better than it was last year. The guards have been the most efficient players for us. Salis, Stokes, and then Destino. And then Mobley at the bottom. I don't know what's going on with him. Shooting less than 41% from the field at 6'11". Stokes leads in terms of estimated wins added with Springer in second. I'm a little surprised Rolog is not higher, given that he is a good defender. And the numbers across the board look pretty good. How many more games is this team going to win is my next question. And we have to have somebody make the All-Star team, right? Well, the win streak ended up not dying. We're here towards the middle of January. It's at 22. 22 games in a row. We're still only 1.5 above Minnesota, though. But this team keeps winning. Yet, look at the All-Star voting. No one in the backcourt. Kajai Stokes has played in almost every game. He's averaging 26 on good shooting and really good defense for the best team in the league. How is he not there? Front court. Where is Rolog? He's putting up better numbers than some of these guys, on better efficiency, playing better defense than some of them, on the best team in the league. It's just a little bit ridiculous. We're 33-5, yet we have no representation. Wow, look at Laszlo Zonka in the MVP race. We have no representation in the MVP. We have no representation in the All-Star voting. The only guy on the awards ballot is Evan Mobley, who's been our worst player. It's great that we've got a team of guys who care more about team success than individual accolades, but still, is that not ridiculous? We're going to make it past the trade deadline. This team's won 22 games in a row. We're not making a trade. There's no reason to. We could get Brandon Ingram back. Don't know why we would do that. This is an interesting deal. Zion for Evan Mobley. The offense would improve a lot, but the defense would take a big hit. I think I'm going to say no, even though Mobley is shooting less than 40% as a center. Ouch. We need his rim protection, though. So the win streak ended up making it all the way to 24 games. Then we lost 3 in a row. We haven't been as good. And Minnesota's passed us again here at the All-Star break. They are half a game ahead of us. Let's look at the All-Star rosters. We'll start with the East. They've got a lot of guys injured. I wish we were in the East. Way worse conference. We could have guys in as injury replacements. Nope. And then in the Western Conference, no one. Not a single soul. No Stokes, no Rolog, nothing. How do you not represent arguably the best team in the league who just won the championship from a big market? But yes, we have to put in Darius Garland, who's on his 6th team of the series. No one in the dunk contest. No one in the three-point contest. No one in the Rising Stars game. We have no one at All-Star Weekend, despite the fact that we are right now the franchise to beat in the NBA. Make it make sense. All right, let's simulate to the end of the year now. We're hoping we can continue to stay healthy. Jabari Springer is going to miss most of the remainder of the year. And Antoine Salis ended up missing a large chunk of the second half. As Victor Wembanyama wins his 4th consecutive MVP award with the Spurs. Tyrese Jackson Jr., the Rookie of the Year with the Los Angeles Clippers. Marlon Boston, 6th Man of the Year. Wemby wins another Depoy. Most Improved goes to Cameron Tylick. Had a nice year with the Lakers. Javonte Fitzgerald, clutch player, and then the Wolves sweep the coach and executive awards. Laszlo Zonka, the only drafted player to make the All-NBA first team. That's pretty crazy. He was a late first-round pick on his 3rd separate team. The Huskies have 2 players on the second team. This is wild. CeCe Cunningham is one of the least efficient offensive players in the NBA. And then Gigi Jackson, sure, he's averaging 33, but these are empty stats. We're putting 2 guys on a non-playoff team. Francis Gardner-Jones on the Suns as well. They were one of the worst teams in the league. How are those guys on the All-NBA teams, but our guys are not? Who have slightly worse stats, but are playing winning basketball. Looks like Mobley was actually pretty good the second half of the year. He makes the All-Defensive first team. He ended up being our only representative, though. As we finish officially with the number 2 seed in the Western Conference, we're unable to surpass Minnesota, but we don't finish too far behind them, finishing with a record of 59-23. Little inconsistent after that big win streak of 24 games. Portland is the 3. Dallas gets the 4. The Spurs played really well down the stretch. They're the 5 seed. The West was loaded this year. 9 teams with at least 47 wins, while the Clippers take the last spot in the play-in over OKC. The East was a lot worse. It's Detroit and it's everybody else. The Magic get the 2, and then nobody else had more than 47 wins. What is with this conference? They were so good last year, yet they completely fall on their face. Yet the 29-win Huskies have to have 2 guys on the All-NBA team. It's not like they lost their last 10 games or anything. No, totally not. Very balanced in terms of scoring. Our top 4 guys all averaged within a point of each other. Jonathan Kuminga was quietly really good. He missed a lot of the early part of the year, and then he just went off. He had the best year of his career. Salis only played 42 games, but he was really good when he was out there. Springer's efficiency improved in the second half of the year, yet the volume stayed high. He played really well. And then even Mobley was more efficient down the stretch, which is a big deal. And for the most part, the team is quite healthy going into the playoffs. So even though the team was at its best in the first half of the year compared to the second half, I still feel like we're in a good spot. Rolog led in terms of estimated wins added at 11.7, which across the rest of the NBA, we'll compare that in a second. Ant wins the scoring title. We had 6 players average over 30. And then in terms of estimated wins added, Wemby in first. Makes sense. He won the MVP. Rolog at 11.7 comes in 28th. I still feel like he should have made an All-NBA team, or at least the All-Star team, while Stokes comes in 39th. Here's a look at the rookie stats. Not a lot of guys played that often. I'm going to certainly put in a lot of work with my settings and sliders next year to make sure in 5 years' time that is not the case. So we will play against the winner of the 7-8 game in the play-in. So either New Orleans or Memphis. New Orleans had a good year, but I'm not too scared of them. I don't think they have a lot of depth in terms of their size. Whereas Memphis is a really, really talented team. They were the number 2 seed last year, and I think that they hit their stride, they could be dangerous for us. Ended up being a really close game. Memphis seems to have the edge, and they do take the win. So it'll be Memphis in the first round. Mikko Koponen puts up 42 and 13. I don't think we match up very well with the Grizzlies because I don't think we have a guy who can match up defensively with Koponen. I don't think Mobley's fast enough. I don't think Kuminga's big enough. And I just don't think Jabari Springer is flat out good enough on defense. The Pelicans get the 8th seed while the Wizards and the Pacers win in the Eastern Conference. I'm curious to see if Indiana gives Detroit any trouble. Mobley's currently injured. He will play through it. So we've got our entire roster pretty much healthy and playing here to start the postseason as we face off against the Grizzlies team who did not meet expectations this year, dropping from the 2 seed to the 8 seed. If they were in the East, they would have been at minimum 3rd and probably higher because they would have had an easy schedule. Mikko Koponen had a great year. Jaylen Brown was good, and they've got a good young group of Kobe Starling, Vishnik Blieva, Khalil Griffin, Bo Washington they added. Even Julian Strawther has turned into a really good player. So here we go with Game 1. We're going to hop into just about any game that's close and exciting. Game 1 is not close or exciting. We are getting blasted. Oh, hold on. We're making it a game, but we end up losing by 16. Julian Strawther with 32 points leading the way. Stokes with 27, but on 30 shot attempts. Rolog was good. Mobley played well, but it was not enough. We've got to bounce back here. We cannot afford to go down 0-2 losing the first 2 games at home. That would be inexcusable, and we start off really slow. This is bad. Like the last game, though, we're making a comeback in the second half. We take the lead. There's about a minute left. I think oh, whoa, they tied it. Hold on, that was quick. Jaylen Brown with a jumper. So there's 9 seconds left. We're going to hop in, and we're going to take a shot here for the win. Now, unfortunately, we can't bring everybody out there because Kuminga fouled out in only 17 minutes, and Roman Loggins-Burrell got injured, which is not just an issue for today, but sprained left wrist. That's not really something he can play through in the future. So Rolog is not going to play the rest of the game. Kuminga's out for the rest of the game. So if we go into overtime, we're going to be shorthanded. That's 2 of probably our 3 best players not out there. So let's make the shot here. Got to be one of Stokes or Salis shooting the ball here. Salis with 31, Stokes with 29. Stokes with Jaylen Brown on the drive. Has Mobley open. It's Mobley for the win, and it's no good. That was not the guy I wanted shooting the ball there, but he was open. It was a good look. He was able to get it up over Blieva. But the shot does not fall, and we are headed to overtime. We're going to simcast OT. If it's close, we're going in. Grizzlies have the edge with 1:46. They're up by 3. I think this is where we jump in. Got to get the comeback. Cannot afford to go down 2-0, especially with these 2 games at home. Destino to Springer for the tie. It's good! 14, 12, and 8. Jabari doing a little bit of everything here in his breakout year. Jaylen Brown over Stokes off the mark. Get the rebound! What are you doing? But Washington for 2 and the lead. Stokes is one of the best rebounding guards in the league. How did he not grab that? 2-point game. Stokes on the drive. No good. Somebody's hurt. Better not be Stokes or else we are in a lot of trouble. So as you'll notice with all the commotion here within the traffic, luckily Kajai Stokes is not the one who got hurt. Vishnik Blieva lands awkwardly grabbing the rebound, hurting his hip. So it's still a 2-point game. Khalil Griffin II and Jabari Springer matching up. I feel like I'm a proud parent watching these 2 duke it out as Springer gets the stop. Here comes Golden State. They can tie or take the lead. Salis inside. Adembona. Layup is good. And the Warriors tie it at 1:53. Following possession, tie game. Stokes gets by Washington. Stokes tries to get it to Salis, but he puts a little too much mustard on that pass. And now the Grizzlies will get it with a chance for the win. We can't even put Mobley in the game. For defensive purposes, I wanted to have Mobley and Bona out there. Mobley didn't foul out or anything. I guess he must have re-aggravated his knee injury. So that's 3 of our 5 starters, who are all good defenders, who cannot be put into the game. We're extremely shorthanded now. Bol in at the 5. He gets it to Jaylen Brown, matched up with Kajai Stokes. Mikko Koponen, not on the floor either for the Grizzlies. Both teams really gave it all they got. With 4 seconds, Brown pull-up jumper. It's good! With 2/10 of a second to go, Jaylen Brown goes to his left and actually scores. So we've just got to throw it up and hope for the best. I mean, it's not going to happen. Stokes does not get it off in time, and it does not go in anyway. The Warriors down 2-0 in the first round, losing the first 2 games at home. And we learned last year this can be a death blow. We were the road team for games 1 and 2 in all 4 series that we played. We went, I'm pretty sure, 7-1 across the first 2 games of those 4 series last year, and we saw how teams like Utah and Portland and Detroit responded after starting down 2-0. Hint, they didn't. Rolog's not going to be out there for Game 3. It's not a long-term injury, thankfully, but it's not something he can play through. Luckily, we knew how important this game was going to be, and we steamrolled them. It was never all that close. They made it a little bit more competitive in the fourth, but we had control the entire way. 33 for Stokes, leading the charge. Kuminga with 26. Jaylen Brown with 29, while Capone at 27. But the role players for the Grizzlies just did not do enough. So that'll bring us into game number 4. Evan Mobley's fully healthy, so that's good news. Rolog still is not out there. The Grizzlies had the edge, but we're keeping it close. And they're up by 9 with 4:41 to go. So this is where we're going to hop in, trying for the comeback as Julian Strawther misses the 3. Mobley with the board. He has the injury icon back. Did he re-injure himself immediately? Well, he didn't look injured there. Driving to the cup, uncontested, in for the slam. And we are within 7. Washington to Brown. He's got Miko Kaponen guarded by Jabari Springer. Up for Brown again, guarded by Stokes. Brown, pull-up jumper is good. And the Grizzlies are back ahead by 9. Make it 7. Here is Stokes up for Mobley. Guarded by Blieva, who's playing through the hip injury. Around the screen, Stokes. Bang! Big-time shot. KJ's got 36. 138-134. Here's Kobe Starling Jr. on the drive. Starling layup. No. Rebound. No. Rebound again. Third opportunity for the Grizzlies. Kaponen with it. Springer falls for the fake. Kaponen, no. Fourth chance. What are we doing here, guys? Bonus called for the goaltend. We cannot let them get 4 chances in a pretty much must-win game 4. Here is Destino. He tries to lob it up for Mobley, in for the layup, and the lead is back within 4 with around 2 minutes to go. Following Grizzlies possession, Brown pull up 3. That was not the shot to take early in the shot clock. Destino with the board. He's got a double-double. Destino on the drive. Trapped inside. Out to Stokes. It's good! And the lead is within 1. 140-139. Here is Destino. He's got Jabari Springer. Springer drives left. Layup for the lead! 20-14-6. Doing a little bit of everything again. So Golden State's up. Under a minute and a half left. Blieva guarded by Destino. That is a mismatch, and there is nothing we can do about it. The Grizzlies back ahead by a point. Destino on the drive over to Mobley in the corner for Springer. Good job there by the Grizzlies to defend the pick and roll. Should have defended Springer better. He drills the 3 for the lead. 144-142. Here is Starling. He's got 7. Kobe Starling Jr. over Destino. We're tied again at 144. Following Warriors possession with 40 seconds left to go. Salis around the screen. Pull-up jumper. Rattles home. Objectively not a great shot to take, but it went in. Who am I to complain? It's a 2-point deficit. Here's Bo Washington. Off-balance layup. Tied again at 146. So with just seconds left, here is Springer for the win. No, ball is tipped up. Washington full court heave, and we are headed to overtime. 146-146. I wanted to hold the ball as long as I could on that last possession to make sure the Grizzlies didn't get a shot off. We didn't get a good shot either. Luckily, though, we controlled the overtime period. I don't think we really need to hop in. Up by 9 now. Yeah, we've got this in the bag. The road team is 4-0 in this series, and give us credit. Really good job of rebounding after starting down 0-2. 39 for Stokes, 28, 17, and 7 with 20 misses for Springer, who was 2 for 15 from 2 with 6 turnovers. Jaylen Brown at 31. Starling had a busy game. Blieva and Kaponen also good. So now the series is tied at 2. It's a brand new game for us, but we've got to win a game at home. And we seem to have the lead. I think we're going to pull it off. And yeah, we will. We have a dominant second half, winning the game by 24. 33 for Salis, 31 for Kuminga. Destino was good. Stokes was not overly efficient. Him and Destino turned the ball over a lot. As for the Grizzlies, 26 for Brown, 26 and 11 for Kaponen. We get some good news in Game 6 as the Blazers await the winner of this series. The good news is that Rolog is fully healthy, so he'll return to the lineup. The bad news is Evan Mobley, who just became fully healthy, suffers another sore right knee. Again, Are his knees made of glass at this point? The Grizzlies end up winning Game 6. Rolog is 0-3 in this series. Miko with 45, Jaylen Brown with 44, Strother with 29. So the Stars really come alive for the Grizzlies, while Salis at 27, Destino was good. Springer, 25 on 9 shots. Rolog shot a toward 8. So that means we're headed to a Game 7. We did not play in a Game 7 last year, or an elimination game, for that matter. So I'm really curious to see how we respond, and this game is really close. I mean, we're getting a good matchup. Now we're starting to pull away in the fourth. We've outscored them in this quarter by 8, up by 6, with 2 minutes to go. Let's hold on. Let's not let them come back. Let's win the game and move on to the second round. Salis with the steal. In transition, lobs it up. Springer does not come down with the throwdown. Does that say 48 points for Loggins-Burrell? Hello. What a performance in Game 7 for Rolog. In transition, wide open 3. It's good! 51 in Game 7 for Roman Loggins-Burrell. Clearly taking the he's 0-3 thing I said earlier to heart. Jaylen Brown jumper is good. Brown seems to have every lucky bounce in the book. 7-point game. Who's taking the shot here? I think I know who should get the ball, especially these wide open. Bang! 54 for Loggins-Burrell. 8-point game with a minute to go. Stokes on the drive. Swings it in the corner. Rolog again. Bang! 57. He will not miss. And I think we've got this one just about in the bag. Rolog matched up with Khalil Griffin II. On the drive with the poster over Blieva. The exclamation point. Rolog's going to dribble out the clock. 59 points, 10 of which coming in the final 2 minutes of the game. What a performance by the Golden State Warriors to hang on, make it out of the first round after we were down 2-0, and we'll get the Blazers in the second round. Oh my sweet heavens, look at this efficiency. He went 0 for 3 at the line, but 24 for 26 from the field and 11 for 13 from 3 with 59 points. That might be the greatest offensive performance I've ever seen in my entire life. Whoa. He put the team on his back and single-handedly won us this game. He was not letting us lose in the first round. So now we've got Portland in round 2. Minnesota will play San Antonio. So all 3 teams we're very familiar with left in the West. The Wizards upset Orlando. They will play Atlanta, while Detroit will play Brooklyn, the 2 most recent Eastern Conference champions. This Blazers team is pretty much the exact same as last year. They added Paul George, who was with the Wolves a season ago, but that's it. The big difference, though, from the Western Conference Finals a year ago to now is that LaMelo Ball and Jordan Hawkins are healthy. Neither of them played in the Western Conference Finals last year. And best of all, Lonzo is not here to shot chuck. He's the number 1 reason why they lost. I'm definitely not as confident with this series as the matchup a year ago, aside from Ball and Hawkins being healthy. But also, this group has another year under their belt. Novikov is in year 4. Campolo's in year 5. These guys aren't rookies anymore. These are veterans who have been in playoff runs in the past. Game 1, no contest. We win by 24 points. Really good showing across the board. Rolog with nearly a triple-double, again on good shooting. Mobley went 0 for 7 from 3. Why is he taking 7 threes? LaMelo had 30. Bardo had 22. And that brings us into game number 2. Ramon Hodge healthy. Not that he is in the shortened 9-man rotation, as we've got a good game here. Blazers with an impressive second half. They steal one on the road. They know how valuable those road wins are after we took 2 in their building last year. Destino, 2 for 11. Yikes. Hawkins with 35. LaMelo with 21 and 15. Novikov with 21 and 16. So the series is tied at 1. Going into Portland, I imagine this crowd is going to be loud as hell after what we did last year. We walked into their trap, took over their trap, and we're going to do so again. Fairly close game here, but we get the job done. 148-141. Salis with 29. Kuminga, Springer, Rolog, all with at least 20. Stokes was kind of quiet, but not bad, per se. So we're back ahead in the series 2-1. Very important game 4 here for Portland. They do not want to go 0-2 at home again, and it does not look like they will. They take charge and win it by 30, including an impressive 4th. Our leading scorer only at 18. Salis, 4 for 19 and 0 for 8. Ouch. A disastrous offensive performance. 39% from the field, 24% from 3. That is not good. Novikov, 43, 9, and 8. So a bad loss here. We were shot chucking. The Wolves lead the Spurs 3-0, so Minnesota looks like they'll be making the Western Conference Finals. Game 5, we finally have a pretty close matchup, although it's the Blazers who had the edge. We're playing well, though, in the fourth. It's only a 4-point game. I think this is where we're going to jump in. With 3:40 to go. Campolo is intercepted by Kajai Stokes. Sends it across the floor. Rolog for the slam. Rolog's been playing some unbelievable basketball. He's got 29. As I've always said with him, when he's on, he's the best player on the team. And over the last 6 games, boy, he's been on. LaMelo misses the floater. Kenyon with the rebound and the putback. And the lead is up to 6 now for the Blazers in a pivotal Game 5 with the series knotted up. Springer loses it. Paul George pokes it away. Elijah Harris with the steal. He gets it for Bardo Campolo. And Bardo puts the Blazers up by 8. Another turnover. Campolo has it again. We've got to be more careful with the ball here, guys. What are we doing? George has LaMelo, guarded by Destino. A little bit different than guarding Lonzo. LaMelo, his jumper makes it a 10-point lead for the Trail Blazers. Not looking good here in Game 5 for Golden State. We've got to go on a quick rally that would start right now. Salis, pump fake with a laser for Jonathan Kuminga, who makes the dunk. Blazers in no rush. They're trying to move slow. Bardo, no. Good defense by Loggins-Burrell. We've got to move fast. Rolog with it on the drive. Nobody in front of him. Rolog layup is good. And the lead is now within 6. Game's not over yet. Here is Paul George with it, guarded by Kuminga. Got to imagine we're going to foul at some point. Kenyon, quick 2. No. Kenyon the rebound, and that's where we're going to foul him. Got to come down with that rebound. And Kenyon grabbing that board might have lost us the game. 8-point deficit now with 30 seconds left. We've got to start throwing stuff up. Rolog had a good look for 3. Instead, he'll try for the 2, and he misses. Kenyon with the rebound, gets it to Campolo. I don't really see an avenue where we can win this game. LaMelo dribbles out the clock. The Blazers take it 149-139. And we're going to play in another elimination game. Again, kind of uncharted territory for us. We did have Game 7 this year against the Grizzlies that we won. But last year, we went 16-4 in the playoffs. This year, we've already lost 6 playoff games. Rolog was really good. Stokes did his thing. Salis was solid. Springer and Kuminga both were pretty inefficient. As for the Blazers, really, really good, well-rounded team effort here from Portland. Leading the charge for them in this game was Jordan Hawkins with 30. Harris 28, Bardo 28, and everybody shot the ball fairly well for the most part, although Silan Novikov was quiet, but it didn't really matter. Pivotal Game 6, we've got to win on the road. We have played very well in Portland's building over the last couple of years in the playoffs, and, well, we've got to do it again. Really close game. The Blazers seem to be in control. Now we take the lead. Blazers are battling back in the fourth. They have it within 3 with a minute to go, so this is where we're going to hop in. Got to play smart basketball. No turnovers. Let's take good shots only. Salis with Hawkins. Salis. It's good. One of the few bright spots of LaMelo and Hawkins being healthy is that neither of them are good defenders. So I want to exploit that, especially as you can see on that possession. Although Campolo gets a quick 2 right back. The lead back at 3. I'm looking for this Salis and Hawkins matchup once again. I don't think he can guard him. Salis ups the lead to 5. And the Blazers call time. They're going to have to score fairly quickly here with 25 seconds left. LaMelo gets the screen from Kenyon for 3. No good. Rolog with the rebound, 26-11. He's fouled by Kenyon, and that just about does it. We are headed to yet another Game 7 as we beat the Blazers on the road 135-131. The Road Warriors continuing to get the job done. We are 4-2 on the road so far in this postseason. We were better on the road in the playoffs last year, too. I guess we just embrace being the villain. Rolog with 26, Salis with 25. Campolo leads the scoring for the Blazers. So that brings us back into Game 7. We won Game 7 against the Grizzlies in what ended up being a really close game. Let's see if history repeats itself with Minnesota awaiting the winner. The 2 series in the East both have not concluded. They are competitive. So we're in control here in Game 7, and we took a big lead. That would evaporate in the second half, and now we're only up by 4. We led this game by as many as, I think, over 20. Salis, the pump fake. Salis with the slam. And it's a 5-point lead with just over 3 to go. Nice move by Bardo. Floater. No good. Nice defense by Jabari Springer. Here comes Golden State. Springer on the drive in the corner. Destino long 2, and the lead is at 7 as that shot rattles in. 131-124. LaMelo Ball with it with the cross. LaMelo to Hawkins. He's got Novikov to Campolo for three. It's good! 4-point game. Golden State calls time. 32 points for Bardo Campolo. Here is Loggins-Burrell over LaMelo. Won't go. I wanted to take advantage of that matchup, but LaMelo gets the stop. LaMelo with the spin, pull-up jumper. We are within two. 131-129. Here is Stokes on the drive. He's trapped. Kuminga for three. No good. Our offense has gone cold at the worst possible time. Novikov, meanwhile, is in for the tie. And we're knotted up at 131. An impressive Game 7 comeback from Portland. And we've got to answer. Kuminga, soft dunk. Good play there by the Warriors to regain the lead. LaMelo's three won't go. Nice defense by Stokes. Springer with the board. Rolog, 24, 11, and 11. A triple-double. He's blocked at the rim. What a play by Novikov to not only get the snuff, but keep it in bounds and get it back. His pass is tipped. Springer has a hand on it, but it ends up with Klingon. He finds Campolo in the right corner. With 6 on the shot clock, Novikov for three. It's good! And the Trailblazers take the lead. Salis, jumper, no. Long two, with the season on the line, probably is not the best idea. Here is LaMelo with it. LaMelo, Euro step. 3-point lead for the Blazers. An epic collapse by Golden State. Stokes gets it up for Salis with Hawkins. This is the matchup that we want. We can afford to take twos. As Salis is in for the slam, executing the pick and roll, we are within one. So now the question becomes, when do you foul? Or if you foul? I think here we don't really need to. Let's get the stop and get the ball back with the lead at one. Here is LaMelo, guarded by Stokes, up to Hawkins for three. No good. Springer the rebound, so the defense does their job, and now it's the offense with 20 seconds left. When do you shoot the ball? Stokes with it on the drive. Are you kidding? That's a charge! No! The worst possible time for an offensive foul, and we're not even going to get a shot off. And with the shot clock unplugged, we have to foul now, as Campolo is fouled by Roman Loggins-Burrell. That is such a killer foul call to make. I didn't really see that much contact from Stokes on the charge. I mean, are you kidding me? The officials got to let that play. Campolo makes both, and it is a 3-point game. Warriors call time. That's their last. We've got to bring in our 3-point shooting lineup. Guys who were comfortable with shooting off the catch. I don't love Rolog as a catch-and-shoot guy, but he still can provide some on-ball gravity. He can make decisions as a passer. The other 4 guys I firmly trust off the catch to make a shot. Preferably Stokes or Salis takes it, but I'd be comfortable with Springer or Kuminga. Salis is wide open, and it's good! Salis with the release. We're knotted up at 138. Perfect. That's exactly what we needed to do. Antoine Salis ties it. Now we've got to bring in the defensive lineup. I want both centers out there, along with Destino, Stokes, and Herb Jones. Let's get a stop and bring this game into overtime, shall we? Obviously, the focus at that timeout was this defensive possession, but we don't have any more timeouts left. So if they score, we've got to be prepared for an offensive possession off the make. Here's LaMelo with 5 seconds. He's got Hawkins open for the lead. It's good! Jordan Hawkins with 2 seconds left. The Warriors are going to have to throw up a shot. Stokes, Herb Jones for the tie. He got it! Herb Jones just saved the season. If he got it off in time. Herb Jones! Herb Jones! I don't believe it. Now, the initial ruling is the shot did not count, and the Blazers are celebrating. But look at the clock. He clearly got it off in time. No questions asked. What a play by the Warriors. A good decision by Stokes to send it in for Herb Jones, who left it immediately out of his hands. This play will be reversed, and the Warriors save the season. Wow! We're headed to overtime here in Game 7 with a game-tying mid-ranger for Herbert Jones. And we come out the gates storming in OT, but the Blazers tie it. We're up by 2 now, the minute 23. This is where we make our entrance. Salis on the drive. He's blocked. Was that not a goaltend? Paul George got a hand on it in what could be his last NBA game if he loses now at 39 years old, as Clayton slams it for the tie. 149-149 following Blazer possession. George, long two, no good. Stokes the rebound, Warriors can take the lead. Salise, Loggins, Burrell, he is fouled by Paul George. Now Rolog, as we know, is not a great three-throw shooter. Does sink the first one, maybe the two biggest free throws of his career as he swishes them both. Good work for Roman Loggins Burrell. I guess he just is magic in Game 7. LaMelo, though, quickly ties it at 151. Following possession, Loggins Burrell up for Evan Mobley. Back to Rolog. Rolog tries to drive right. He gets it for Mobley in the corner. Salise, what about the shot? Won't take. Salise, Euro step over Hawkins. No, he missed it! There's no way we just got punked by Jordan Hawkins with possibly the game on the line. Why is Hawkins wide open? Oh my goodness, we dodged a bullet. Why was he so open? There's 12 seconds left in a tie game. Warriors can win it and advance to the Western Conference Finals. Stokes with LaMelo in isolation. Stokes on the drive. Layup is good! 9/10 of a second. Kajai Stokes takes the lead for the Warriors. This game has felt like a damn fever dream. So defensively, don't foul, don't foul, don't foul, don't foul. That's got to be the game plan. Kenyon will inbound. Who will he send it to? He goes for LaMelo for the win. No good! Warriors win it! And we got lucky because I think Destino might have grazed his arm. They could have called that a foul. The Warriors win Game 7 in overtime. A game-winning layup by Kajai Stokes at the end of the overtime. And a game-tying buzzer-beater mid-range by Herb Jones at the end of the fourth quarter. Holy moly, what a game. So we're playing Minnesota in the West. Detroit and Atlanta, who played in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, will rematch, but with a healthy Cade Cunningham and a healthy Chet Holmgren. We played against Minnesota in the second round last year. They were the 1 seed, we were the 5 seed, and Minnesota's the only team who really gave us trouble in the playoffs. They were up in the series 2-1 before we won 3 in a row. I think this Minnesota team is more dangerous than last year. Their weakness, and the reason why we beat them, was because of their lack of depth. Well, they've added a lot of depth. Anthony Edwards is averaging 40 in the playoffs, and they made some good additions. Herb Jones, Wendell Carter, Sadiq Bey, the former Warrior. Rob Dillingham, I feel like, is going to be the X factor. He really struggled in this series against us. Ranking Destino had him in hell, and that's along with the fact that Dillingham's already not a good defensive player. So we'll get started here with Game 1 in Minnesota. The Wolves have the lead, but we played really well early in the fourth, and the lead's within 3. We were down by 21 going into the fourth quarter. And look at this. The momentum continues to roll. A charge. Great job by Ranking Destino to set his feet and let Karl Anthony Towns, this 7-foot giant, blast into him. Destino misses the layup, though, for the lead. Good defense by Dillingham. That's a defensive matchup we really exploited last year. Why are you giving him space? Not good. 5-point lead. Stokes with the crossover on Anthony Edwards. Stokes inside, sends it over to Rolog. 29, 11, and 4. Stokes also with 29. He drills the 3. And the lead is within 2. Anthony Edwards brings it up for Minnesota, the NBA's leading scorer this year and the leading scorer in the playoffs as well. Drills the step-back 3. Edwards does have a title to his name. That was 5 years ago now. That was back in Season 2. I'm sure he would like another one now at, I believe, 28 years old as he loses it. Stokes with the steal. Stokes, Mobley! We are within 3. 147-124. Edwards' jumper is good. Minnesota's back ahead. The third playoff meeting between these two teams. We split the first two, and the winning team ended up winning the NBA championship that year as Mobley makes the dunk. We're back within 3 again. There's only 30 seconds, though. Look at that shot for Kuminga. It's no good. That's as wide open of a 3 for the tie as he could have asked for. The Warriors are not going to foul. Interesting strategy. It's a little risky. It could backfire, but it could really pay off. Edwards makes the layup. Maybe he should have fouled. 5-point game. No timeouts. Gotta hurry. Stokes is going to have to start throwing up 3s. That one won't go. Towns the rebound, and I don't think we're winning this game. 5 seconds left. Stokes has it. Pull-up mid-ranger is good, but it is not going to matter. The Wolves take Game 1 at home, 152-148. The Wolves led this series last year 2-1. This is not new for us, but I would prefer if they're not up 2-0 because I think it would be really hard to win 4 of 5 against this team. I think they've been the best team in the NBA this year. 31 for KJ on great shooting splits. He had a phenomenal game. 29 for Rolog. 28 for Mobley. We had some guys really shoot the ball poorly, though. Kuminga was really bad. Destino was really bad. I think Springer did not have a great game, while Edwards at 45. Yeah, he was quite good. Maybe the best offensive player in the league right now. I mean, he is on another level. That'll bring us into an all-important Game 2 in Minnesota. We have the lead right now. We're playing well. Wolves storming back, and we are deadlocked pretty much into the fourth. Wolves up by 1 with the ball. Cody Williams jacks up a 3. I don't know why he took that shot. Heavily contested. Now Golden State looks for the lead. Salis gets it over to Herb Jones. Pump fake. Jones hit the big shot against the Blazers in Game 7. Back to Salis, who didn't really play against Minnesota in the second round last year as he misses. Jeffries with the rebound. He is fouled by Evan Mobley. He would make 1 at the line. Salis, quick 3, no good. I thought he was pretty open. Cat with the rebound, fouled by Destino. And now Karl Anthony Towns goes to the line. Warriors out of timeouts as he makes the first. Second one is also good. So we've got to hurry up, shoot a shot quickly, and foul. Who's going to get the ball here? Salis has missed the last couple, but I trust him to get up a quick shot. Jumper, no. Porzingis grabs the rebound. We are not going to foul. This game is over. Minnesota takes the first 2 games of the series by 4 points each, and we're down 2-0. We were down 2-0 against Memphis and won, but this isn't Memphis. Memphis was the 8 seed. Minnesota won 63 games. Salis, 7 of 25, not good. Jabari Springer might as well have had a blindfold on. 3 for 17. Herb Jones, 2 for 9. Destino, 3 for 9. Tingus Pingus at 28. We actually kind of shut down Anthony Edwards, but we still lost. So we return home. Got to get back to business in Game 3. The 2 number 1 seeds lead their series 2-0 currently. Detroit did lead 2-0 against Atlanta last year. That series ended up going 7. Game 3 is really close. We're playing well, though, in the 4th. But now we're only up by 1. So here comes Minnesota. Anthony Edwards with it for the Timberwolves. He finds Rob Dillingham. Dillingham, pump fake. Back up to Edwards. Edwards on the drive. Blocked by Springer, and it rolls out. So I hit the pause button to make some substitutions. I was looking at the stats for the game. Does that say 33%? Hold on a minute. Hold on. We got to look at some of these individual shooting percentages. This might be the worst shooting game I've ever seen. Salis, 1 for 10 from 3. Rolog, 7 of 17. That's one of our better players. 5 of 12. 1 for 9. 3 for 16. 3 for 19. And 0 for 10 from deep. The reason why we're scoring is because we've shot 53 free throws. So even though we're 33% from the field and 15% from 3, 15, we're winning. She's not even legal. That's Wander Franco territory. I don't think I've ever seen a team shoot this poorly, and I've certainly never seen a team shoot like this and win. 26% from the field in the second half. Now, they have 24 turnovers compared to just 10 for us, along with the noticeable disparity in free throws. Edwards, triple off the inbound, no. Kuminga the rebound, they're not going to foul, or at least not yet. Stokes, wide open 3 is good. And Minnesota calls timeout. I seriously cannot believe we're winning after seeing those stats. My mind is just still blown. Edwards, 3 rattles in. We're back within 1, and it's time to foul. As Stokes is fouled by Edwards. He would make them both. The team is now 51 for 55 at the line tonight. That is just absurd. Jeffries for the tie, won't go. Kuminga grabs the rebound over to Stokes, who is fouled by Tingus Pingus. That's his 6th. He is out of the game. I'm surprised he didn't foul out earlier. Stokes makes them both, and it looks like the Warriors will take Game 3 at home in extremely unlikely fashion. We shot less than 35% from the field, and we won the game. We won the game. I don't know how. Certainly helped getting 14 more turnovers, and obviously all those trips to the line. I wondered, was that a record in terms of team free throws? Not even close. The Syracuse Nationals attempted 86 against the Anderson Packers in 1949. You think NBA free throw discourse is bad now, with Shea taking like 10 in a game? That's nothing. 33% from the field, 16% from 3. Everybody shot the ball poorly. Not a soul shot the ball well. No one did. Look at Jabari Springer. 3 for 19 and 0 for 10 from deep. We could have built a mansion with these bricks. How did only 2 players foul out for Minnesota? That's crazy to me, with 33 fouls and nearly 60 free-throw attempts for the Warriors. So we lead the series 2-1. Detroit is up 3-0 on Atlanta, so it looks like the Pistons may very well be back in the NBA Finals for a second consecutive season. Big game 4 at home. We'll see if we can tie the series. Minnesota with a strong start. We're battling back. We played really well in that third quarter. Kind of a close game, but we're starting to run away with it late, and we will get the win. We tied the series at 2. 43 for Rolog. He shot the ball well this time around. Others did not. Salis was bad. Destino was bad. Still got the win, though. 37 for Ant-Man. Not enough, though, for Minnesota. Detroit has already clinched their spot in the finals despite 89 combined points for Chet Holmgren and Shaedon Barnabas. Cade with 51, and Bron Holland had 30. So it's the opposite of last year. We waited for the Pistons in the finals. Now the Pistons are waiting for one of us. And I think that's a big reason why we beat Detroit, is that they were out of gas. Now it might be the other way around with all these long series we're playing in. It's a 3-point game. I wanted to hop in, but I clicked the wrong button. Nobody ended up scoring the rest of the game, so unfortunately we lose 3-2, despite another good showing from Rolog. 6 of 20. Why are you shooting the ball 20 times? Salis was a lot better, probably because he stopped shooting it. But Mobley and Kuminga, 7 of 27 in a 3-point loss. If they make 2 more shots, we win. Rob struggled, but it didn't matter. And that brings us into Game 6 now in Golden State. Our season again on the line. Another elimination game. We're 3-0 in elimination games this year, and we're going to make that 4-0. Taking care of business. 164-139. Rolog and Stokes combined for 68. Evan Mobley, stop shooting the goddamn basketball, dude. This is ridiculous. Anthony Edwards with 39, 10, and 7. So we're headed to another Game 7. All 3 series, we've gone 7 games. If we win, we're going to be exhausted going into the finals, but we've still got to win. That's not an excuse. We had the lead for most of the game, but look at Minnesota in the 4th. They are within 4 all of the sudden. So we've got to hold on to this lead. We were in control for most of the game. And I noticed Springer is at the 5 for some reason. I kind of want to roll with it. Evan Mobley has played so badly over the last couple of games. Why not keep Jabari in there? He's a much better offensive player. Salis, open 3, won't go. Our offense, again, has hit a cold streak at the worst time. KJ Jeffries on the drive. Layup is good. All 3 Game 7s we've played in have been extremely close. We are giving NBA fans a treat. Hard to imagine this game will be as wild as Game 7 against the Blazers. But we're only up by 2 with 2.5 to go in a game that we were up by a whole lot more than 2 like 10 minutes ago. Minnesota had that crazy choke in Game 1 too, but it's not going to matter if they come back and win this one. Here is Destino bringing it up for the Warriors. He's got 12 dimes around the screen. Mobley, please give up the ball. Thank you. He's got Destino again. Over to Loggins-Burrell. Pump fake. Williams falls for it. Rolog! No! Rolog's got 38, though. He is just another animal in Game 7. Here's Cody Williams, open 3. For the lead! Minnesota up by 1. 140, 139. Here is Destino. Sends it for Rolog over to Mobley. We've got the matchup with Cody Williams. Mobley posts up. Mobley is fouled. Please make your 3 throws, dude. Please. I beg. Please. Good. Makes the first one. We're off to a promising start. Second one now for Evan Mobley is up and through. 141, 140. Minnesota with under 2 minutes to go. Anthony Edwards has it for the Timberwolves, guarded by Salis, who's not had a very good Game 7 for his standards, only 14 points. Edwards is blocked! Mobley with the snuff. Rolog has it 2 points away from 40, and he makes it. 3-point game, 40, 15, and 6. And to think of the 3 Game 7s he's played in this year, this might be his worst. Edwards sends it off the back iron, no good. Rolog with the rebound, his 16th of the game. Loggins-Burrell with a little over a minute on the drive in for the slam. And the Warriors are back up by 2. Edwards is ice cold, pull up 3, no good. Kuminga with the rebound, he's got 28. Look at Rolog, wide open in transition. Rolog makes the layup. 44, 17, and 6. Straight out of the video game. It's like we're playing 2K or something. 7-point lead now. I think we've got this just about in the bag. Rolog on the drive. Step back. Salis. Dagger. 10-point lead for the Warriors. As obviously Rolog will be the one to dribble out the clock. 44, 17, and 7. The Warriors are going back to the finals. And we will rematch with Detroit for the title. A little bit different than last year, though, because last year we had swept in the Western Conference Finals. Detroit needed 7 in the East. This year, it's the complete opposite. The Pistons beat Atlanta in 4. We needed a very competitive 7-game series to get by Minnesota. So one of the key advantages we had over Detroit last year is gone. Now, I also think our team is better a year ago than we were against Detroit. This group has another 100 games together under their belt. Rolog wins the Conference Finals MVP in the West, while Cade takes it in the East. I think that's the pretty easy choice for us. Stokes was solid, but Rolog was the obvious pick. In Game 7, 44, 17, and 7 on good shooting. Kuminga had 28. Mobley stopped shooting the ball. Seriously, dog. Destino, 2 for 9. He did not shoot the ball well in this series either. As for Minnesota, 47, 19, and 9 for Edwards, doing everything he could. But it was not enough. We will rematch with the Pistons in the finals. Like us, Detroit has decided to run it back, and understandably so. If they were healthy last year, there's a good chance they win the whole thing. They were the best team in the NBA last year. This team, they didn't have the best record in the league, but they were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference fairly comfortably. And unlike last year, they've got a fully healthy playoff run of Cade Cunningham, him and Tyler Hero, who had not really played together last year during the finals. Now they have a lot more chemistry. Still with Ron Holland, Asar Thompson, Kawhi Leonard, Baba Ko. They've added Keyshawn George. I'm surprised Keyshawn George hasn't really found a home in the NBA. He was good with the Wizards. They let him go early. He was a fringe all-star with Indiana. Doesn't stick around there. So Detroit says, yeah, we will gladly take him. Cade Cunningham obviously leading them through the year. Hero was good. Ron Holland was good as well. And then Kawhi Leonard still getting the job done at 38 years old, looking for his 3rd NBA title. So that'll start with the first game. Even though the Pistons were the 1 seed and we were the 2 seed, whoa, Jabari Springer flew a week or two. What kind of flu is this? It's June, not January. Anyway, as I was trying to say, even though the Pistons were a better seed than us, we do have home court advantage because we had the better record than them by 1 game. Detroit seems to have the edge in Game 1. I think they're going to take it 171-149. It was not a total blowout, but we didn't play great. 25 for Kuminga, 24 for Stokes. Rolog did not shoot the ball well at all. Cade had 47, 9, and 7. He played a really good game. Into Game 2, we cannot afford to lose the first 2 games of the series at home. We have the lead. It looks like we're going to get the job done without much issue. 182, 141. A 36-point triple-double for Stokes on just 19 shots. Kuminga had 28. Salis had 28. Rolog had 25. Cade, meanwhile, 1 for 7 from deep. Into Game 3, series is wide open, tied at 1. We've got the lead. The Pistons take it back, and I don't know if they're going to give it up. We kind of made a little bit of a push in the 4th quarter, but it was never really in danger over the last few minutes. 31 for KJ, 26 for Kuminga. Rolog, again, I don't know what's going on with him. He had such a great playoff run, and he's selling his here right at the end. Cade with 29 and 12 for Detroit. The Pistons come out the gates storming in Game 4, and I don't think we have room to catch up. If we want to win this series, we've got to go 7 again. 154-123. Salis with 30. Rolog was better. Stokes only had 10. 0 for 6 from deep. He did make all of his 2s. And then Destino, he's just not had a good playoff run. 7 turnovers, 6 misses. Cade was a rebound shy of a triple-double, leading Detroit. In a Game 5, we return home. All of our other series have gone 7, so we can go the distance if needed. Pistons would start off really well early, but we would power back. So much so that we're going to hop in with a few minutes to go. The Pistons had the edge, but not by much. We're playing well in the 4th quarter. We're only down by 4. Cade for 3, rattles out. Rebound by Rolog. He's playing well in the elimination game again. Up to Stokes, and he drills it. The lead is within 1. We were down by well over double digits for much of the game. Rolog now for the lead, rattles out. Both offenses have hit a cold spell. I mean, at least the defense is making plays, but we've got to start making some shots. Baba Ko over Mobley, and the lead is up to 3. for the Pistons. Back at 1 after a couple of Loggins-Burrell free throws. Good to see him making the important ones. Cade on the drive. Stokes tries to rip it away. Salise does. Out of bounds. Warrior ball. Salise got in his way to jar the ball away, but he never touched the ball. That was a really, really good move by Antoine Salise. And so we'll get the ball with a chance to take the lead. Jabari Springer quickly drives in. He's doubled. Kuminga wide open for 3 and the lead. Golden State up by 2 as Babako skies up for the rebound with 40 seconds. He finds Tyler Hero, swings it right corner for Ron Holland. Up to Cade for 3, and it's good! Detroit right back ahead. 142-141. Here is Loggins-Burrell with it. There's 22 seconds left. I want this matchup right here. Salise and Hero. Salise is blocked! Babako with the denial. Tyler Hero fouled by Rolog. That play may have just won them the game. So now the Pistons are going to inbound it. Rolog's not going to foul because he's at 5. I don't want him out of the game. Not that he would probably shoot the big potential 3. Salise fouls Hero, goes to the line for 2, makes the first one. And it's a 2-point lead for Detroit. The second one is good as well. It's up to a 3-point game. We use our last timeout. We could go for a 2 and foul, but I think we've got to go for a 3 right here, given that we're out of timeouts. Whether we take the 3 early in the possession or later, we've got to make sure we get an open shot off because our season is on the line. If someone's open early, particularly one of Stokes or Salise, honestly, preferably Stokes, he's got more energy. And look at this, he's wide open, but it's no good. Ko the rebound, hands it off to Hero, who is fouled. That was as good of a shot as we could have asked for. Kajai Stokes was wide open in the corner. He was the guy I wanted to shoot the ball there, but he doesn't make it. Tyler Hero sinks the first at the line. Second one ups the lead to 5, and it's good. The Warriors are out of timeouts, so we've got to make a shot quick, within seconds. Stokes gets it for Golden State. Jumper over Cade. That's a 2. Doesn't go. Holland back to Cade. He's bear hugged by KJ and then thrown off. I think our chances of winning these finals might be toast. As Cade makes the first, it's a 6-point lead for Detroit. Now a 7-point lead with 5.4 seconds, and I think the clock has hit midnight for Cinderella. Salise in the corner, throws up a 3, and it's good, but there's only a 1.5 left. Pistons will inbound. Hero's got it. We're not going to foul. And Detroit has done it. They've won the finals in 5 games, defeating the Warriors 4-1. So we beat the Pistons in 5 last year. Detroit, now fully healthy, gets their revenge. And they beat us in 5 games. Cade Cunningham wins his first career NBA title. Ron Holland, Tyler Hero, Asar Thompson, Keyshawn George, Babako, all NBA champions. Kawhi Leonard, in his final NBA game, he's planning on retiring at the end of the year, wins his 3rd title. Goddamn, he is tall. I mean, I knew he was 7'2", but Jesus Christ, he's tall. Hands the trophy to Kawhi. The farewell tour for the Claw is complete. 3 titles on 3 different teams, and a first career finals MVP for 28-year-old Cade Cunningham as the Pistons beat Golden State. Obviously, I wanted to see us win. If anyone else were to, I guess I am selfishly a little happy it's Detroit. 33 for Stokes, 28 for Rolog. What a bad end of the playoffs for Destino. 39% from the field. He was not good. 22 for Springer. Kuminga was good. Salise was good. But Cade had 42. Babako had 7 blocks, including the big one at the end of the game on Salise. That was the play of the game. That play won it for Detroit. So Cade wins the finals MVP, 34-11 and just about 8 rebounds per game. He didn't shoot it that efficiently, though. Destino's defense was pretty good. So Detroit wins the finals in 2030. We are unable to repeat. We're not going to do what we did in the Cavs series in 2K21, where we won like 6 or 7 titles in a row. The Sonics in 2K22 won 16 titles in a row. And now we get set for a big offseason where pretty much the entire roster is not under contract. The entire team, other than Kuminga pretty much. Rolog, restricted free agent. Stokes, restricted free agent. Mobley, unrestricted. Destino, unrestricted. Salise, unrestricted. Herb Jones, unrestricted. Jabari Springer, unrestricted. A Dembona, player option. Jonathan Kuminga is the only guy in the core playoff rotation who is on the roster for next year. I'm happy we were able to run it back this season and see what this team can do. And obviously, we had another great season making the finals. But we're not going to have this same group next year. You would think Rolog and Stokes are going to be the priorities. Those are the two best players. Those guys are restricted, so they will be back. But other than that, we don't really know. We're going to have to retool around those guys with some of the youngsters already on the roster and the first-round pick we have at the end of round 1 this year. We're going to do all that in the next episode, the long-term Simmons series finale, wrapping up the franchise, seeing what happens in the careers of all these drafted players as these older guys phase out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.